tonight, the Biden administration says laws that forbid sex discrimination in healthcare also protect gay and transgender people. That is a reversal of a Trump-era policy. The Department of Health and Human Services said today everyone, quote, should be able to access healthcare free from discrimination. White House Correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen?
Tracy, good evening to you. It's complicated and, of course, very controversial, but it all boils down to this. Going forward, if hospitals or medical providers violate those federal laws regarding sex discrimination in health care, they risk big sanctions.
Starting now, the Health and Human Services Office for Civil Rights will investigate complaints of sex discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and so-called gender identity.
You cannot discriminate against people based on sexual orientation or gender identity.
But Luke Goodrich from the Becket Fund for Religious Liberty argues against the policy, writing, it will punish doctors and hospitals if they won't perform harmful gender transition procedures against their conscience and medical judgment. This is bad for patients, doctors, and religious liberty.
Also tonight, here comes the money. President Joe Biden announcing today from the White House that cities and states across the country, including right here in Washington, D.C., can start lining up for their share of $350 billion.
Today, we're opening a portal for state and local governments to apply for the first funds from the American Rescue Plan.
Critics argued the money was a bailout for poorly run governments.
I have an update for you on the Colonial Pipeline.
And in the press briefing room today, top national security officials discussed the latest on that cyber extortion attempt on a vital U.S. fuel pipeline, the Colonial Pipeline hit by a ransomware attack.
Colonial is currently working with its private cybersecurity consultants to assess potential damage and to determine when it is safe to bring the pipeline back online.
The FBI blamed the attack on a criminal gang known as DarkSide. There are concerns that supplies of gasoline, jet fuel, and diesel could be disrupted.
And on a side note tonight, but certainly a symbolic one, across the street from the White House is Lafayette Square. And guess what? It is back open for the first time in nearly a year. It had been shut down because of all the protests. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.